Today on Idaho Foodie, we're going to make the best pot roast outside in a Dutch oven with charcoal briquettes. How do you do that? Well, stick around and you'll find out. So this is what we have. It's called a mock tender boneless beef product. In the past, they had taken these and ripped them on the diagonally, called it a tri-tip. Someone called them on it, and then they called it a mock tri-tip. But it's $4.99 a pound, 2.21 pounds. Does have some marbling in it. Wanted a chuck roast, but this is what we got. So we'll get this out of the package, get it seasoned, and then get it seared in the Dutch oven. So this is the mock tender. We're gonna season it up with some kosher salt. Little breezy out this morning in southern Idaho. Nice thing, don't have to do a lot of talking on this one. You're probably going, thank God. Hopefully that's in the shot. So now I'll get the coals up, the chimney's all heated up, and we'll get this seared. We are going for a sear on this. So as you can see, I have way more than 8 or 10 on the bottom of the Dutch oven. Wanting to crank that up, get that Dutch oven smoking hot, get a sear on that piece of beef real quick. Then when we go for the long cook, we'll pull some of those out and be looking for 300 to 350 degrees. So with this, having to look for windbreaks so it doesn't blow our heat away. And I'm downwind, I'm going to get dusty here. This is a Dutch oven that I've recently acquired and kind of a little bit of used and abused. People asked me about seasoning cast iron. Basically, the best thing you can do for that is use it. This one I know what they tried to do. They took a grinder to it to smooth it out, and basically didn't use it a lot after they did that. So I'm basically seasoning this right now with bacon grease, which my mouth is already watering. With bacon grease, it will help to season this up. So I think if you do this in the house, you will smoke up your house. So we're going to do that, get a quick sear on that. So as this is cooking or searing, you have to kind of chase the heat around because the heat transfers from the cast iron to the meat. But if you was in your house, you'd have your stovetop or a gas top set on high. Be quite a little bit hotter than we are here. And basically go where the heat is. I've added a little bit more bacon grease in there. When I was a kid, we always had a tub of bacon grease. We never threw it out. We didn't even filter it. We just took it right out of the skillet, cooled it, and put it into a container. That was a pretty, that was a treasure, because we always cooked with it, because we couldn't always afford bacon. So on your stovetop, probably 2 to 3 minutes on high on each side. Open the windows up because you will smoke the house up. Another way to season cast iron is set up outside. If you have a outside Camp Chef propane stove, and deep fry chicken, deep fry pickles, deep fry okra. Because when you can deep fry in there and sustain those high temperatures with the oil, that's the best way to season your cast iron. Okay, another couple of minutes we'll be set to go. I'm going to shut the camera off and go start another chimney of coals. Okay, so I have the other set of coals in the chimney warming up. So basically I'm looking for 3 hours at around 325, 350, maybe kind of tough today with the wind. So after about 45, 50 minutes I'll come out and probably touch up the coals, make sure I'm maintaining the heat. Do that a couple times, and after 2 hours I'm going to come out and add more potatoes, carrots and celery to it, because if I'm going to basically do a roast beef, potatoes, carrots, celery, and onions. So right now I'm going to add just enough beef broth to cover it, no more than halfway up the meat. I'm not looking to boil it. So I have 4 cups. And that's about almost where we need to be, so that's good. So here I have about a 1/4 of a cup onion, 1/4 of a cup celery, 1/4 of a cup carrot with 3 smashed cloves. And basically I want these to cook down and get into the broth, and I'll add more later with the potatoes, but these are to cook into the broth. Celery brings a lot to the table for flavoring. I think it's really kind of an overlooked ingredient for the flavor. So that's looking really good. So now put the lid on. I'm going to add some coals to the top. The bottom ones are cooling down a little bit, so I'm probably just going to leave them like that for now. Put the lid on this. One other thing, we're not looking to steam or boil this. So if you're doing this in your oven, put a lid on there that doesn't fit quite right, because you want the steam to escape. So if you're doing it in Dutch oven outside, a pebble, a stick, just to break the seal so the steam can escape out of there. And I'm using horseshoe nails, and this time I'm doing it to be cool. And if you've never seen a horseshoe nail, that's what they look like. They're angled like that, so when you drive them through the hoof they curl out so you can cut them and tip them over. So that's going to allow this to vent. We don't want to steam it, we don't want to boil it, we actually want to roast it like it was in the oven. So in the oven, make sure your lid doesn't fit so the steam can get out. So I'm going to get some more coals added to the top of this and we'll be ready to start the timer. At least with this, temperature isn't as critical as other things. With the wind blowing like this a little bit, we're going to lose some heat, so I'm going to build up a windbreak. And these coals are going to go pretty fast, so basically as it cooks, if you're doing this in a Dutch oven, check it periodically and be prepared to add more coals to it. And remember, if you're looking, you're not cooking. So this one's not so critical to where I'm going to go in the house and have breakfast, not even worry about this. I'll come out, set the timer and check it in about 45-50 minutes. You'll definitely need some more coals. So don't be peeking, let it cook. Okay, we're getting close, getting ready for the third set of coals, which that's when I'm going to add the potatoes and the other vegetables. I have 4 medium to large Idaho Russet potatoes. You can use Yukon Golds or the Russets, whatever you have available. So anyway, I'm going to get these drained and dried, and then we'll get them seasoned and get them put in the pot. Okay, so here we have the potatoes, kind of racing against the clock here a little bit. Put some vegetable oil, just enough to hold the salt and pepper on there. Not going to put a lot of salt because there's salt in the meat and also salt in the broth. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Run away. Okay. Get these covered up and we'll see what's in the pot. What's in the pot? Okay, here we go. I haven't cheated. I haven't looked at it either. I can smell it. Hopefully someday Elon Musk will get smell-o-vision invented. Try to do this so I don't get covered in ash. Get my camera ready here. Okay. Wow, stay on there. Wow, that smells really good. That broth is excellent. So, layer these in there. Also the rest of the half of the onion. Large yellow onion. And with these, it's whatever you like. And the sizes, if you want smaller pieces of celery, bigger pieces. I tend to kind of especially cut the carrots a little smaller so they're a little bit softer. But if you want more or less, you're the king of your roast. So whatever you want to do. There, that one right there. When that one's done, I know the rest of them are done. So with that, I'm going to put the coals back to it. Make sure nothing's touching the lid. And we should be set to go here. I'll put another third set of coals on there and we'll be back in an hour to see what it looks like. We have the last set of coals on there now. It's heating up really good. So after that, I'm going to go right now and watch the rest of the Boise State football game against North Dakota. Set my timer for about 50-55 minutes. And by then the game should be done, and so should the meat and the potatoes. Okay, we're about ready to go here. I did come out and add a few more coals just to bump that temperature up. And I'll get the camera resituated and we'll take a look, see what it looks like. Okay, one of the things you need to look at when getting lid handles for these Dutch ovens is this one works pretty good, but there's slop in it. And right now it's kind of crucial this doesn't tip. So when you have a positive lock handle on this, hopefully we can do it without getting ashes into the soup. Wow, how good does that look? Potatoes are done. We'll see how about that mystery cut of meat. So I'm going to get the ashes off the lid, get this off the coals, give this a few minutes to rest before we cut into it. Okay, it's had a minute to rest, cool down a little bit. Pretty much soup is ready, so we're going to pull this off to the side. Now during this, 3 hours in the house because you have a constant heat. I did this 4 hours outside with charcoal briquettes, with filming, doing multiple takes and prep, all in just about 4 hours. And actually today's kind of my lucky day because made it through the Boise State football game. They won, and this is ready, and the U of I, University of Idaho, the Idaho California game is just now starting. So I get the trifecta: Boise, Idaho, and pot roast all in the same day. So, and this has had time to rest. Make sure that's in the frame. Not much. Okay. There we go. They say not to do these videos hungry. It's like, holy crap, I didn't start out hungry. And with this being kind of the mystery meat, kind of knew it'd have that gristle in the bottom, in the middle of it. This would be great for up at hunting camp while you're sitting around the campfire. Anyway, drinking coffee. You keep the coals going and just sit there. Especially if you're the first one back to camp because you got your animal. And all you need is a little bit of horseradish sauce mixed on there with your beef. And the juice that's in there you could make gravy out of if you want to. For me it's pretty much already gravy because you can sop it up with the potatoes. Being overrun here today. Well, that's how you do it outside with charcoal briquettes in a Dutch oven. You know, I did it in just a little over 4 hours outside while filming, so you can do it inside in 3 hours pretty easy. If you like this kind of content, give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to. I appreciate you watching. I'm an Idaho foodie, and it's brown, it's hot, there's plenty of it, and I'm going to go eat and watch the football game.